I come to you today. We're going to do some sewing. We're going to be doing the finishing for this lovely lady right here. So that requires us to have this piece, and this piece. And then we're going to make some of these setting triangles out of these two pieces here. This is the finish of my mom's quilt, and again, it looks like this. It is called Mineral Matrix. And I cannot remember what the size is. It's like 104, I think, by the time you finish it. I cannot remember, and I do not, oh, let me lie. Yeah, I do not have that particular piece of the pattern with me right now. We just finished the last of the actual blocks on the pattern, and it is this one right here. Sorry, y'all, I'm still trying to figure out where I need to be to get this kind of centered. So it is this one right here, which I just finished it yesterday, and that is the last of the 12 blocks needed to make the quilt top, and she looks like that. I'm very proud of it. It turned out really, really well. So there's that one. This is made out of the sandalwood fabric line. I finished all of these setting triangles, and they look like that. Let me get a little space. Okay, they look like this. I'm very proud of those. I did encounter a little bit of difficulty trying to make this cut here, considering I don't have a ruler. I do have a 24-inch ruler. I need to get an 18-inch ruler apparently, because I don't have one long enough to go from corner to corner here. But what I ended up doing was, let me move these things out of my way so I can show you what I did. I took the block when I was done with it, and I laid it at this corner here. Made sure everything got to where it needed to be. So this point needed to be at 13.5. So I went ahead and cut off anything extra after 13.5. And I did the same for the other end. And when I cut it, that's actually not the way I did it. I'm sorry, that was looking kind of weird. When I cut it, I did it this way. I cut it on the 45-degree line, angle line on here. I started it with the ruler, and I lined the 45-degree up here. Started till I got to the middle. Then I lined this up with the 45-degree line, and then I finished it at 13.5 up here on this corner up here, and followed that to get this. Now, is that exactly what I was supposed to do? Who knows? We'll find out when I get ready to set them in, but I think it's correct because it is 13.5 this way and 13.5 this way. But that did take a bit for me to figure out how I was supposed to do that, because you do not. It just says cut 13.5 and 13.5, and I guess you're supposed to just match the points after that. I don't know. I didn't get much instruction on how to do that, but I did figure out a way to get it done, and that's what I did. I used that 45-degree line in the process. But these are the setting triangles. Now we will be making these cornerstones here. Let me turn it around. These cornerstones right here. Get a little close so you can see. Mine will not be that color, of course. So for the cornerstones, we are going to piece this inside or this side. It doesn't really matter which one you choose, because these are going to be the same. But you're going to do the middle pieces. We're going to strip piece those with these pieces and cut out 26 of them. When we finish the strips, we'll cut out 26. Wait, where are we? Hold on. Here it is. it is. Here's the piece. So it doesn't really tell you. See, all it tells you is to trim 13.5. It doesn't really tell me how to trim. So yeah, I made that up. Hopefully we're going to be able to make that work when the time comes. So for this one, we are going to be cutting 13 2.5 inches. So we will strip this and cut a 2.5 inch piece. And then, what's next? Then we have to make these half square triangles, in which case I am using for the very first time the triangles on a roll. Now this is my blue piece. This is my background piece. For this process, I'm going to have to make additional for this particular set of triangles because I did not cut it right. I did not cut the length correctly on this. And what did I just do with them? Here they go. So I will need 2 extra pieces cut into 2. So I cut 2 3-inch pieces when it should be 2 7/8, but I cut 2 3-inch pieces. I'm gonna make these into half square triangles and just size them back. And these I cut because I was thinking for the other one, which I've already started on. I will try to turn you up a little. Okay, for this one, which is these 2 fabrics, I was thinking I would have to do the same thing for this one, and I actually cut this one a little better. So I won't necessarily need the other 2 triangles for this unless this doesn't come out right. And I always have these that I've already cut as a backup. So there will not be any face shots today because I am, it's a little low there, girlfriend. It's a little low. I am suffering from a coming sty on my eye. And right now I look like I've been fighting with Floyd Mayweather and he's winning at the moment. So there will not be any face shots today. It's not that I don't want y'all to see my lovely face because I do think my face is lovely. But yeah, it's just not appropriate for camera today. So I am going to get some, and this right here, you may not even be able to see this, but anyway, I have cut the next piece. I've cut everything actually for the finishing of this quilt. And the next piece is, we'll just be making these. So it's all strip piecing when we get to the next part of it. And this is all, well, there's a lot of all, but these are all the strips that we're going to be stripping next. And then these are some setting triangles that are going to be needed when we do the other parts of the finishing. I think they're going to be needed when we do this part, that part of the finishing right there. So with that being said, I will try to get y'all set up a little better and then we will get started to sewing. We'll finish sewing. I stopped because I thought, you know what, I'm supposed to be videoing this for people to see. Well, I started without you, but I'm going to bring you along so we can finish the rest. Okay? Give me 1 second. And I am just sewing on these dotted lines to get that 1/4 inch. Get the 1/4 inch correct on these half square triangles, and I'm trying my best to stay on the line, but like I said, this is my first time doing this. And I am finding that this paper slips up under this foot a little bit. So holding your hands in one position seems to be very important at this point. And I'm cutting when I get off of it and just coming back to the other side, cutting the thread. And I will try to cut some of this out so that you don't have to watch me do, you know, all this little stuff. I'm trying to get this together. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get this foot pedal to speed the way I want it to. And I think that's it. I think that's the last one that I have to do. But I will go on off because I'm not using this piece. I'll just sew it and stop. Okay. Now we've done a lot of those. We will go, let's just do this on and start here. And I'm not using this part, so I will start a little off and come to yeah, I'm not really comfortable with these yet, so I hope I'm not making you guys super duper confused. Oh, I probably should have started the other way. So this is going to take me here, 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 here. Okay, it'll bring me back. Good job. I didn't realize that. And yes, I talk to myself as I am trying to sew. Listen, I give myself all the pats on the back that I need in order to keep myself motivated and to, you know, be okay with what I do. Self-affirmation. Sometimes it's all you get. Let's see. Did I go too far? And I have my stitch, number one, I turn my stitch level down to a 1.5 for this, which is, will make it easier to take the papers off when the time comes. When I put these together, I pinned in between the intersections, at the intersections where you don't sew. So that's where I put my pins when I put them together. And at the top, where I thought I was going to need these squares because I didn't have enough fabric, this particular one ended up having enough. So the piece at the top, I cut off the roll and I glued to the fabric so that I could just continuously sew them all. I was just trying to line them up, and I'm sorry, y'all, I don't do a whole lot of talking as I sew. I'm used to being solitary in my sewing room, so I'm going to get a little better with keeping up conversation as I sew with things. But just to have a topic of something, have you guys been watching the Olympics? I watched the figure skating, and I'm a wait, we off. So we need one more stitch. Yeah. So I'm a huge figure skating fan. I love it. I don't think my husband was aware of that before this year because I haven't watched much of it with him. Considering he's always worked a lot, and until the last few years, we haven't been on shifts that were even remotely alike until like I said, the last few years when he started working at this hospital that he works at now. And so we're on shifts that are basically alike at this point. That is going to sew off because that is not going to work. So we get to spend a lot more time watching television and movies and all that stuff together now than we have in the past. And I don't think I've sat down and watched the Winter Olympics with him prior to now. We've been married 18, going on 19 years now. Actually, next week will be 19 years. Our anniversary is next week. And so I think this is the first time we ever sat down and watched the Winter Olympics together. Now, we've watched summer. We've watched basketball and tennis and track and field and all that good stuff. We've watched all that stuff together, but not the Winter Olympics, I do not think. And so I watched, what's her name? Allie? I think her name's Allie. I can't remember what her name is. I watched her win, and oh, she did amazingly. I watched the guys do their performances, and they did amazingly too. I just yeah, I love it. I don't particularly care for any of the other winter sports, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not a big fan of any of the rest of them. The skiing and all that stuff, especially, you know, none of that really does anything for me, but I do like the figure skating, and I did watch that. My husband has been watching the show, and I haven't watched a lot of it. It's called, oh my gosh, what is the name of that show? It comes on Hulu, and, okay. Before I say any more about that, I've done them all. I don't know if you can really see this or not. I really should fix that light, because you really can't. Hold on. I really should fix this light because I really can't see. You really can't see. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I've done these. They're all done. And we will just grab the other one and do that one. I did say no face shots, but if you can see my eye, it looks terrible. It looks terrible. So I'm going to grab this other one. And I guess I'll start at the end. Which one is it that I'm not using? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm not using this one. So I will start off here because we're not using this one down here because the fabric is too short on the back. Oh, that's bad. But it don't matter because we're not using it. Okay. Okay. So, what was I saying? The show. Reasonable Doubt. That is the show that my husband's been watching. I haven't kept up with it, but here and there, because he's watching it, I will go in and I will watch it here and there with him. But it seemed like it was very, very good. Very, very dramatic. One more. So what type of shows do you guys like? I am an action movie and any show where there's a whole lot of boom, boom, bang going on, I'm down with it. If it's not a lot of that, then I will tend to get a bit bored with it, to be perfectly honest. But or dramatics. I like some drama. I like what is this show? It's on Prime Video. It's that Alex Cross. I kind of want to see. I haven't seen the second season of that, and I want to see that. I like Will Trent. I haven't seen the current season of Will Trent, and I want to see that. I like a good mystery show. I watch a lot of Hallmark mystery movies. I do. I watch a lot of British mysteries because I find them to be absolutely hilarious. There is no better storyteller than a British mystery author. Really? There's not. I love them. Same with books. I'm a huge mystery book fan, and I tend to like cozy mysteries more than a hard police kind of mystery book. But I will read them too. Don't get me wrong. I do read those as well, but I tend to like more of I tend to like more of a cozy mystery, a bookish mystery, something. All of them except for the ones that center around cats. I don't understand the concept of mysteries that, involve cats. It's just weird to me. I can't get with it. I don't understand it. I'd be wondering why would you center a book around a cat? About a mystery book around a cat. That's just it. The cat ain't got nothing to do with the mystery. The people in the mystery just own cats. It's just weird. So I don't read those, but I like a good one. I like a good one about food, like the ones that what is going on with the stickiness? The ones that have they surround a caterer or somebody that owns a restaurant or a bed and breakfast. I love the ones about bed and breakfasts too. I love the bookish ones, the ones about people that own bookstores, and I like all kinds. I don't like the ones that are specifically about holidays. I don't understand that either. But I love a good cozy mystery. I love a good thriller and suspense. I like a good the only romance books that I like for real are the ones that are romance suspense. So there's romance involved in a good suspense or thriller book. I can do that. I can do that. But if all you're talking about is a whole lot of trying to find the right guy, and a whole lot of romancy, or a whole lot of hopping from one to the other bed, this one to that bed, this one to that one, and man to man and all. I cannot. I just can't with that. I'm not a big fan of books that are too sexually explicit either. You know, I'm down for a good love scene here and there, but you know, if you're gonna get a little bit too far into what they're doing, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I can't be bothered. I don't like that either. I'm not an erotica kind of book reader. I know that's a genre that a lot of people, generally women, are drawn to, but if you're doing it too much, it's a little bit too much for me. And I like a good in between YA and adult. So it may be marketed as YA, but I like a good in between YA and adult. Something a bit fun because it's not so serious, but a little bit of seriousness to it, like a plot that would be something that somebody that age would think of, because their minds are just a bit more creative, and so their imaginations are still running wild. And so I kind of like that kind of story, something that would just come straight out of nowhere at you. But I do not like for it to be too YA-ish, and I do not like for it to be and if it is going to be YA, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, I do not like for it to be too risque. I do not like too much of the girl or the guy. I do not like too much of that, although that is our youth reality at this point. And I do realize that the world is a little different, and that is their reality at this point. But I do not like too much of that focus in something that's meant to be a YA book. I do not like too much of that focus in something that's meant to be an adult book, but you know, that's neither here nor there. That is what it is. So, but that's neither here nor there for that purpose. I just don't like for it to be. I'm going the wrong way. But either way, we're gonna start. I just don't like for it to be too much of that kind of thing. But that's just my own personal opinion. I'm not trying to tell nobody else what to do with their books. You know, not trying to do that. I went backwards, y'all. I think I did. Just why this is ending up weird. I do believe. But anyway, we're gonna try it again. But what kind of books do you read? Do you read audiobooks? I am an audiobook listener. However, every now and then I get the inkling to have paper. And, you know, I have to have a book in my hand. I have to have that page to turn. Every now and then I have to have that page to turn. It is just a necessity for me to have that page. And then there are those times where I don't feel like carrying the book, and the audio book is just the best thing in the world to have. It's just a vicious cycle. I have a hard time keeping to reading if I am on a book that is going boom, boom, pop. The whole time you're watching it, it's just like bang, 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 right? Then you have to restart a book, and no book starts off bang, bang, pop. They all have to give you some kind of background in some way, shape, or form. And that background is never what you want to read. It is always the part of the book. It just is. It's just the way book reading goes. I'm sorry. It just is. It's just the way book reading goes. And I can never, ever keep going on something that takes longer than 3 chapters to start boom, boom, popping again. If it takes longer than that to get me the good mystery part, if it takes longer than 3, 4 chapters to get to something that's the meat of this story, then I'm gonna have to put that down. And I'm probably never gonna come back and pick it up. I'm just be 100% honest. Because it took too long. It should have just gave me a boom boom pop in the beginning and then went into the background of the story. So that you don't get so super bored with what's happening. But it does make me pause and be like, oh, this book is not. It's just not. Sometimes I force myself past it, and a lot of times I will put that book down and never pick it up again. If I do pick it up again, it is because someone has told me what happened in that story, and it's just like I couldn't see none of this happening because this was the most boring book I've ever read in my life. And then I will go and pick it up and see if I see what they see, which generally I do not. Oh, what are we doing right now? And generally, I do not. I do not see it. No matter how hard I try. I do not see it. Now, I'm a little stuck. I just did something wrong, and I don't know what I did. But we're going to keep it pushing and try to make it work. I don't know what I did, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't right. Oh. So off right there. And pick it up. About there. But I'm the same for movies as I am with books. Except I have a love of C-dramas. If you don't know what a C-drama is, it's a Chinese drama. I really like Chinese drama movies. I know most people do not watch things that they have to read, but I kind of read a lot of my shows that I watch. I find a lot of them on YouTube and Netflix, and I have to read many of them. Truth be told, I have to read many of them. And I do. Because I really do like them. Oh, that wasn't right. Let's try that. Back up. Ooh, okay. There we go. I don't watch the news very often, if I can help it, unless somebody tells me something is happening, and you know, I'll get on there to see what everybody's talking about. But I don't watch the news very often. I watch it in the morning before I go to work so that I can check on the weather and the traffic. But I've kind of gotten away from political drama, so I don't watch it as much as I may have in the past. Yeah. I don't keep up with current movies either. I will say that. If I watch a movie at all, I don't like to go to the movies anymore. I don't know. It's like I've gotten older in life, and I do not feel the need to go out there to all these events any longer. And it may just be from age. Who knows at this point what it is? I'm going to take these pens out. And, okay, let's see if you can see this one. You can see that. Okay, so I've done all of these, and now we're going to cut them. I'm going to turn you back down, and then we'll do the cutting. Okay, so I've taken all the pins out. Let me move that. And here we are. Oh, no, you can't see. You can't see. Hold on, let me fix this light. Y'all, I ain't used to this. I ain't used to it. Okay, let's do that. Now you can see a little better. I moved you. Sorry about that. Okay, is that better? That's better. Okay, so I have gotten a ruler that's about 9 inches long, and we're going to follow Kimberly Jolly's instructions. And she said make sure you cut on the lines. Now I'm going to grab my trusty cutter here, cut across there. She said cut on the outsides first, but I'm not doing that. This one has already been cut, so I'm just going to cut the fabric right there. Come down here. But I was saying that I just feel like I have gotten, as I've gotten older, I don't feel the need to go out and about like I used to. No, I used to want to be at everything and go everywhere. And nowadays, I don't care to go to any of it. I can come home from work and come to my house and stay at my house and not do anything. I don't have to go to a movie. You know, I don't have to do any of those things. It doesn't bother me to not do them. Where at one point in my life, it bugged me to death to not go and participate in all those things and hear some, and go to work the next day and hear people talking about that concert that night before, or that movie that they went to see, or that game that they went to. It used to bug me with no end that I wasn't there for that. And now I don't really care if I do any of that. I just want to have a peaceful time after I have left work and come home. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to go back out and do anything. Anything I needed to do, I should have did before I left. And before I got home, rather. I should have done that before I got home. That's how I feel about it. What about you guys? Are you at, is that like a stage? Or is that like a place in life that you get to? I don't, you know, I'm at that point where I don't want to do. If we're going to do something, I feel like it should be a full out vacation. Like if we're going to go somewhere, go somewhere. You know, and I do realize, as I was saying earlier, that my husband worked a lot. And that some of the things that I'm not interested in doing, he hasn't done. Because he worked a lot. He took care of us. He provided. And he worked a lot. So there are a lot of these things that I've done he's never done. Because married or not, I have that kind of freedom to do. My job allowed me that time off, that regular schedule, and his did not. So if there's an event that he would like to go to, I'm all down for going. But as for the rest of it, I can honestly do without the rest. I'm going to an event. So let's see what our first one. Oh, look at our triangle. Am I not far enough up here for you to be able to see me? Can you see me cut? Yeah, you can. Here's our other triangle. Yay! I'm so excited about that. But I am going to a Cirque du Soleil on the 6th of March. It's actually an African-inspired Cirque du Soleil, and I'm very excited about that. Me and my sisters and my best friend are going to go to that. And then the very next day, I am going to the Cottontail show, which is kind of like a Christmas village, but it's in the spring. I am going to go to the Cottontail show on that Saturday, and I'm hoping, I know one of my sisters won't be able to go on Saturday, but the other one I think will, and I'm not sure about my best friend, whether or not she'll be able to attend with us or not. But we're going to do that. Outside of that, I have my regular sit and sew with my guild that I do on the second Saturday of every month. We go to a local church and we sew together. I have my guild meeting the first Thursday of every month. And yep, that's about all I got. And then I see my grandbabies in between, you know, depending on what they're doing. But yeah, that's about all I got right now. It's all the ripping, running, and going that I am going to do, that I know of, that I have to do. But I'm just that, I don't want to call it a homebody stage, but I guess that's what it is. Guess it is like a homebody stage. I'm just not into doing all that stuff these days. I'm just not into it. But I am cutting all of these, I guess I should tell y'all what I'm doing. I'm cutting all these triangles out. I'm cutting on the solid lines to get all the triangles made. And it probably is easier for you to cut these straight down the middle before any of the other pieces, but yeah, whatever. We're just gonna cut. We're just gonna cut on these straight lines, but you cut the straight lines, whatever makes sense for you to cut them. Right now, we're just gonna cut them, and then all we have left is taking the papers off. How long have we been doing this? 42 minutes, girl. This has been a long time. We're going to finish cutting all these. And then that'll be the end of this video. And we will come back together when I am ready to sew the strips, which won't be long. I'm just not going to keep y'all while I press and take these papers off. That's totally unnecessary to me. Probably should cut. I'm probably going to cut out most of this too, because you don't need to see me do all that other, I don't think. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, when I finish cutting these out, we will be done with each other for the moment, because you don't need to see me cut out that other one. Ooh, I'm just slapping this thing down. I bet it's super loud in y'all's ear. I'm sorry. I'm not the most technique correct quilter that you'll ever meet. Like I said, I'm usually in here by myself, and I don't usually have anybody in here with me, so I don't talk. I just work. The TV's usually up pretty loud, or music's usually on, and I just do my thing. Ooh, I put that way over there. I went to the eye doctor yesterday and got my new glasses. I took in a pair of frames that I bought. I generally will buy both of my frames from like one of those Chinese purveyors that you can get mailed to you for pretty cheap, and a lot of those sell on Amazon, so I can order them on Amazon, get them within a day or two, and then take them with me to the eye doctor and get them to just put the prescription in them, and I'll be able, I picked a stylish pair that is pretty much me without being limited to what you see at the eye doctor. Right? And so this time I took one pair and I bought a pair from the eye doctor's shop, and it was a pair of Meta glasses that I am now thinking I should have put the sunglass lenses in, and I didn't. I took them out and made them clear. One reason I did that is because I will not be using them as sunglasses. I don't wear sunglasses like that. I really don't. I just don't put them on. Although most people do. I just won't wear them. Simply because they're sunglasses, I won't put them on. And so I didn't do it, but now I'm thinking I probably should have. But that's what I bought, was some Meta glasses. They are what they call soft gray. What you would call soft gray is what they are. And come on, honey, come on over here. Okay, first one, they're written because the pattern showed you how to make your own grid to make your half square triangles, but it had you doing them at a larger size and still sizing them down. And I thought, why not? If I'm going to use a grid, I may as well just use the paper and have them exact. So this is what our square triangles look like. I'll have to clean off my present. Ooh, Jesus, I just knocked it over. I will have to clean off my pressing table behind me and turn on my machine and press them out. Turn on my iron machine and press them out. And then that is what we'll have. There. That is what we did today. That I've made these. I'm going to cut out the rest of them. Can you see that? I'm going to turn it this way. I don't know. It's kind of upside down. But I'm going to cut out the rest of them and take the papers off all of them, press them out, and then I will get started on the strip sets. And I will bring you guys back when I've done that. But for now, thank you so much for taking this time out with me to make these little corners. Where are they? Where's the picture go? Here you go. These little cornerstones is what we just made the half square triangles on a corner for. And I will bring you guys back when I get ready to do the rest. Thank you and have a beautiful Sunday.